Hello, everyone, and welcome to Content Marketing Insider powered by Repurpose.io. I'm your host, Roy Garcia. Thank you for joining us today. And on this episode, we are going to be talking about the art of engaging content, techniques for effective generation and repurposing videos. My guest works with entrepreneurs to expand their reach and get their message across using video. Please help me welcome Mr. Mark Harbert. Mark, welcome to Content Marketing Insider.
What's up, Roy? I'm excited to be here, man. I'm glad we finally got it worked out to get here, man.
I know. We're also very excited to have you on the show. And I know there are a lot of people who might be watching right now. Some of you find you familiar and they say, hey, I know that guy from somewhere. Or maybe they don't know who you are. So this would be a great time for you to, can you tell us more about you?
Well, I can tell you this. I've been creating videos for probably the last 15 years. So if you've seen me anywhere, maybe it's just a video. I have had people walk up to me and go, hey, I've seen you on YouTube before. So it's kind of cool. No, I've been doing online marketing since 2008 is when I really started learning how to do things. And it was really then when I started seeing video was playing such a huge role. YouTube had just kind of, was starting to really come on the scene. People were getting very excited about video. So I saw that right away. And so, I was really looking for a way to build my business. I'd started out in direct sales and I was looking for a way to generate leads, get my message out there. And I started doing all kinds of things like Google pay-per-click at the time. And I started creating videos. And honestly, the videos really were just taking off. And I remember, especially about around 2012 is when really the videos started going all over the place. I was getting massive amounts of traffic, and video just proved to be the one thing that separated me from a lot of other people, because I noticed that the people that were creating videos were the ones making all the sales, and the ones that weren't were the ones who were really struggling. So that was a clear distinction for me. And that's where I really started to put all my focus on video. Of course, I do and teach and train a lot of other things as well, but video is always at the foundation of everything we do online. So that's kind of where it started for me. I really had my breakthrough in 2012, and here I am today.
Yeah, actually, I've known Mark for a few years, and there've been many moments when he'd be going from email to this technique and that technique. I guess what you can say is that Mark is more like a journeyman when it comes to content marketing, because he's seen practically the different stages of, and the different evolutions of content marketing. And right now he's just focusing primarily on video marketing, which is, I believe, is one of the best ways to get noticed online. No doubt.
No doubt. No question.
Our topic for today, the art of engaging content, techniques for effective generation and repurposing videos. That's a great way to talk about the topic. I think that's just whetting my appetite, my friend. And we've got three points regarding this topic. I'm sure it's going to help a lot of our listeners today. So the first point is the pillar videos blueprint. So 2 points of that 1 point that I want to focus on in a way. What's a pillar video and what's the nitty-gritty of our blueprint?
So I believe video is the foundation for everything. Like, it really is. I don't care if you're doing email marketing or you're doing Facebook ads or you're doing Google ads or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It is the foundation, especially, and I don't think anybody really needs to be told how popular video is today. I mean, short video is, a real dominator. But I look at a pillar video as like, it's a video, anything that is really like, a couple minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. I look at a pillar video, 5 to 10 minutes long. It's something that you're able to give a lot of good information in. It's something where you can really expound upon your points. And a lot of people will think, well, if short video is so important and it's so dominating today, why would I want to create something longer? Because the longer videos, I look at it as kind of a tiered system. I look at short video is so powerful because it's a great way to get yourself out there and introduce yourself where people start to see little clips and things of you out there. But then people are going to want to consume more. They're going to want to consume deeper content with you. And that's where a pillar video really comes in, because what happens is, again, it's longer, it's more info that they can consume, but there's a specific way that I build out a pillar video. Honestly, I've been teaching this very same concept for about 10 years, and I still believe it to be very strong. So a longer video there's 5 points to a longer video when you're creating a longer video. The first one is obviously you got to have a strong hook. The hook is crucial. It's crucial in a long form video. It's crucial in a short form video. I always tell my students, if you don't get the hook right, you're going to lose them right away. The hook is the most important part, along with obviously title and thumbnail as well. But once you hook them in, and then I have this concept where I call set the hook. So I look at it as like a fisherman, where they toss the hook out. You got the hook. A fish bites the hook, and what do? You yank the pole to like set it in the mouth of the fish. And I use that in the analogy for a video as well. So where your hook might be 1 to 3 seconds, the setting of the hook is kind of driving it in deeper and really setting the concept of, hey, this is what you're going to learn. So it might be, the hook could be something like, are you an entrepreneur struggling to get leads on Facebook? Well, I've got 2 things that I'm going to show you as to why you're probably so frustrated and why you're not getting the results with Facebook or Facebook ads. So you're kind of driving the pain point home a little bit. And I think that really goes, okay, I really want to watch this video. And all of that, the hook and setting the hook, is within about 8 to 10 seconds.
So it's basically just driving the dagger deeper. Like, yeah, wait a minute. You got me there with that. And look, wait, what he's talking about, that's what I'm going for. And I want to know what he's talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's exactly it. And so, yeah, that's the concept. So those are the first 2 points. And then I always tell people, like, give a first call to action. So if you say that you're creating this for a YouTube video, your first call to action can be, I'm excited that you're here. If you want to get more videos like this, make sure you hit subscribe and hit the bell. That's a call to action. Now we're going to move right into the content. So all of that is within the first 15 seconds. You've hooked them. You've set the hook. You've given your first call to action to subscribe if they haven't. Very quick, very, to the point, and you get right into the content. And then the content is all about just delivering on the hook and the setting of the hook, the promise you gave them. And I think if you do the hook right, they'll watch a good portion of your video. And that's the important thing. So, and then once you have delivered on the content, you have a final call to action. That's kind of the blueprint for a pillar video. I call that a pillar video because you think of a building that has pillars on it, it's holding the building up. And that's why I call it a pillar video, because it's kind of like a foundational piece. And then that piece of content can be repurposed over and over again. I have videos that I've been repurposing for 5 years, that I've been using them over and over again because they're just, good videos. And so you put them out there, but that's the concept of a pillar video.
So basically what we're saying here is that the pillar video is more like a long form content that you bring out. Everybody's like focusing on short form content, the TikToks, the reels, the shorts, but not a lot of people want to put some effort on the long form content. But now what we're saying is, before you even start going for shorts, it would be better that you can start with pillar videos.
Or just mix it up. I mean, I'm definitely not saying short videos shouldn't be used. I create short videos all the time too, and they're easy to create, simple, but throw in some long form stuff in there too, because I know that if I find somebody that I like, I'm more than likely going to want to consume more of their content, find more stuff and things like that. So I'm all about mixing it up and keeping it fresh and exciting. And a pillar video could be a live video too. Live video still is a thing. You can do a live video and then chop that up and turn that into a pillar video, which then could be chopped up into, short form video as well.
Would you say that pillar videos or long form videos are good ways so that you can have some longevity when it comes to, for example, like YouTube?
100%. Yeah, I would. I mean, I'm not an either or kind of guy when it comes to creating content. I like to look at it as like, hey, I'm going to create one piece of content. I'm going to create a bunch of short videos out of this. I'm going to create a blog post out of this. There are still people out there that like to read and not watch a video. I get it. 70, 80% of the internet is consuming videos, but a lot of those same people are reading too. I read, so you're really leaving out a big chunk if you don't take advantage of some of that. A pillar video today, taking the transcript of a pillar video, you can easily turn that into an article and stick it on a blog post with your video. You can take that, we're getting into repurposing here.
Yeah, I know. I feel like, wait, are we going to point number 2 now? Yeah. But anyway. Yeah.
But it's like that pillar video is it's the foundation that now you can do all these other things with. And that's the way I kind of look at it. You're hitting all these mediums with it. You're hitting all these little avenues with that one video.
I think our listeners will have a much better appreciation of content repurposing or content marketing if you have an efficient way of doing things, right? Not just doing it in
Yeah.
shorts. But I think it's also important that we have these foundational videos so that when people, check out your shorts or your blog, whatever it may be, they can always go to your videos and really get to know you. But long form videos give your audiences or potential clients or audiences the opportunity to get to know you, your personality, the way you think, and all of that. Is that something true for you?
I mean, here's the thing, and because short form video is so hot, everybody's focused on it. But I just saw an article 2 months ago where TikTok was starting a creator fund for all creators that make videos over 60 seconds. In other words, TikTok is wanting more long form video. And that's the point. So a lot of people think long form video is dead. And I'm like, you're crazy. It's not dead. Yes, out in the forefront is all the short form video and everybody's doing it. And I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying let's keep it all in perspective. Long form video still has a place and it will always have a place. And I think a lot of people, they lose sight of, they're always focused on the hottest trend, but start to focus on longevity. And I think that's where I teach things a little bit different is I'm not focused. I don't teach my students about algorithms. I don't do that. It makes me dizzy. It makes me nauseous. I don't want to talk about algorithms. Yes, I understand a lot of it, but I know that if I teach my students the foundations, any algorithm change can come and it doesn't matter because your content's still going to be relevant because algorithms change daily. Like they're always updating things and you could create a whole bunch of content for the algorithm, so to speak. And next week they make a change and all that content is completely dead. You see what I mean? So if you focus on creating just solid, good content that's usable, that people can use, you may not think you get, it's not getting a ton of views. Well, views don't matter anything. I'm all about what's the profit you make off it. I've made tens of thousands of dollars off of videos that got 200 or 300 views. You know what I mean? But it got to the right people. YouTube is the master of long form content and they recognize that. And that's why they're starting to reward people that give longer form content.
Are you tired of constantly churning out new content? Do you want to reach a wider audience and increase engagement without spending hours in creating new content? Look no further than Repurpose.io, the ultimate tool for content repurposing. With Repurpose.io, you can easily turn your existing content to new content, like videos, podcasts, social media posts, and more. You'll save time, reduce stress, and reach a wider audience. And we're offering a free 14-day trial of Repurpose.io just for you. You'll have access to all the full features of Repurpose.io for 14 days. This is the perfect opportunity to test it out and see the results for yourself. Don't miss out on the chance to revolutionize the way you repurpose your content. Just visit repurpose.io/free. Again, repurpose.io/free. Try it today. It's actually very interesting how just a few years ago, YouTube just decided to have shorts and they're putting a lot of money on shorts, right? And now on the other side, TikTok is spending more money on long form content. It does paint a picture now for content marketers, business people and etc. Basically every person who's creating content that we have to kind of step back a little bit and really look at the situation and say, am I creating content for a medium or am I creating content for an audience? Trends and mediums and, length of videos, I suppose, and the way it's being consumed will always change. But the foundation of videos, the storytelling, the hook, the meat and potatoes of every content is still valuable. And I love it that you mentioned not to focus on algorithms because I know how people can get so crazy, me included, when it comes to algorithms.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is it's hard to keep up with it, even though I'm a marketing junkie. I love everything that has to do with marketing and all that, but it will drive you batty. And if you just put the focus on creating good content for people we're not creating content for algorithms. We're creating it for people. I used to do a lot of SEO back in the early 2010s. I really did a lot of blog SEO, things like that. But I saw how Google, 2012 came along and some of their updates just trashed SEO the way it was being done. And next thing you do is you hear Google and they're like, just create good content for a good user experience. That's what they wanted everybody to focus on. So we put all this focus on the wrong stuff all the time. Well, if I do this perfect jump cut on the video right here, this is going to increase my engagement by 1/10 of a point.
That's true.
That's
you can have all the bells and whistles on a video, but if your content is terrible, then there's no saving that with, special effects. So, and that's the reason why we're talking about the pillar video blueprint. We're in the pillar videos, the long form content. It's not just the length that we're talking about. It's about how the video is structured with the hooks and the content and the call to action and all of that. I know you're learning so much from this episode. It's packed with amazing content. So this topic is going to have a part 2, which you can find next week. For a Content Marketing Insider powered by Repurpose.io, this is Roy Garcia. We'll see you again next time.